Hello, everybody. Welcome to your national television ORTM1. This is the time of your English program of every Saturday and Sunday. We start this program with Mali news. First, top news. At the end of 5 days' week, the participants made around 300 recommendations on 5 themes. The recommendation included extending the transition from 2 to 5 years, reducing the number of political parties, revising the transition charter, and encouraging the candidacy of Colonel Assimi Goïta in the next presidential election. With a content of 302 recommendations and detailed resolutions, the final report of the Inter-Malian Dialogue for Peace and National Reconciliation was handed over to the President of the Transition, Colonel Assimi Goïta. He noted with satisfaction the successful conclusion of this meeting and reassured that the recommendations will be followed up. 35% of the revenue from the new lithium mine will accrue to Mali. The country's first lithium mine will start production in August 2024. It will be operated by a Chinese company, Kangfeng Lithium, for a period of 21 years. More details in this new paper with the Minister of Mine and the Economy, and as well as the Managing Director of the Chinese company. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ORTM News. Mali has a new architecture for peace. It was proposed by the National Inter-Malian Dialogue, which reached its conclusion last week at the Bamako International Conference Center under the chairmanship of the head of state, Colonel Assimi Goïta. The process, which lasted more than 3 months, resulting in more than 200 recommendations and resolutions emanating from the people for peace and national reconciliation. United, we are stronger in the face of challenges than divided we are, said the head of state, who was delighted to see Malians decide to take their destiny into their own hands. An update from Sira Bachili and Angel Dambele.
On May 10, 2024 is a historical day for Mali, which noted the participation of the people in the establishment of peace. Transition President greeted these people committed to the nation upon his arrival at Bamako International Meeting Room for the final phase of the Inter-Malian Dialogue. 3 months of process marked by different meetings with several socio-professional lawyers. Mali, in its ethnic diversity, expressed itself and shared its aspirations for peace and national reconciliation. Avenues for a new architecture peace. More than 200 suggestions for good governance and a developed economics. We decided to extend the transition for a period of 2 to 5 years. The Inter-Malian Dialogue, according to the chairperson of the steering committee, is on the table. This dialogue will therefore have made it possible to break the ice to say out loud what the citizens was whispering quietly. An exercise requested by transition president reminded by the chairperson of the steering committee of the dialogue. Transition president in his turn noted the people's commitment to peace through the appropriation of the Inter-Malian Dialogue. Colonel Assimi Goïta said he was happy to see his initiative succeeded. The Inter-Malian Dialogue, or the expression of Mali united and strong, is put on the voice of progress. The implementation of these suggestions will certainly lead to this path.
All eyes are now on the implementation of these recommendations and resolutions. The people of Mali have high hopes that these recommendations will be followed up by the public authorities. For the participants in the Inter-Malian Dialogue, everyone must play their part to make all this a reality. Some are suggesting the creation of a follow-up committee. These are some of the opinions expressed by Sira Bachili at the end of the ceremony. Follow the translation by Angèle Dambele.
We urge all Malians to uphold the documents which are there for a better future of this beautiful country which is dear to us. I'm driven by a feeling of pride seeing the commitment of all Malians from inside and outside to participate massively in this great event which allows all of Malians to express themselves, to make a good diagnosis of problems which we experience for years and years. We have the same vision as transition president. We expect the authorities as well as citizens to get involved and invest in the implementation of these suggestions. We Malian women are very satisfied with the process of Inter-Malian dialogue for the good and simple response that transition President Colonel Assimi Goïta relies on the women of Mali from the establishment of the steering committee, and we have been involved in the entire process. Women were vice presidents of the various commissions, and they were also present in all the delegations which crisscrossed Mali and which went abroad. As suggestions, women wanted us to be able to call on endogenous conflict management mechanisms which we had previously in our country and which made it possible to resolve all the problems that arose at the level of a village, for example. Myself went to Paris to supervise the dialogue. It went very well given the enthusiasm of Malians in Paris and the interest showed in this dialogue. The Malians really talked to each other. We must help Malians in the diaspora to invest, to have a partnership with the government and with other economic operators to help them return to the country. Especially women, they must be included in the reconciliation process. They are the pillars of our society. We need to join hands and be mindful of all these recommendations so that Malians can achieve a common interest in peace and reconciliation in Mali. This report will be taken into account and implemented by the transition president via all people. I call it a celebration of reconciliation for Mali. I'm sure that all Malians will be aware that we ourselves must get to work so that we can ensure that the recommendations are implemented.
The final report of Inter-Malian Dialogue for Peace and National Reconciliation was handed over to the President of the Transition, Colonel Assimi Goïta, at Koulouba. The document set out the aspiration of the Malian people in a number of areas, including peace, security, and sustainable development. It contained 302 recommendations and resolutions. The President of the Transition noted with satisfaction the successful conclusion of this meeting and reassured him that the recommendation will be followed up. Report Sira Batili and Gassou Diarra for the translation.
Inter-Malian dialogue is about peace and national reconciliation. In fact, Malians dreamed of peace, unity, and reconciliation. Malians' dream comes through Inter-Malian dialogue. Essentially, Inter-Malian dialogue will bring peace, unity, and reconciliation in our country. In the palace of Koulouba, His Excellency Colonel Assimi Goïta received the report about Inter-Malian dialogue. This report talks about the aspirations of Malian people for different fields: peace, defense and security, political governance, economic and geopolitics. Ousmane Issoufou Maïga, former Prime Minister, President of the dialogue, spoke. The general report of Inter-Malian Dialogue for Peace and National Reconciliation is composed of 5 commissions, those of all regions, 48 embassies and consulates, and universities. It expresses the preoccupations of the populations as well as the contribution of the youth and women association and many personalities. Also, the document talks about the beginning and finalization until the implementation of Inter-Malian Dialogue for Peace and National Reconciliation. Inter-Malian dialogue for peace and national reconciliation, which took place very well and there wasn't any trouble. The former Prime Minister Ousmane Issoufou Maïga, president of Inter-Malian Dialogue. Inter-Malian Dialogue for Peace and Reconciliation is about unity, peace, reconciliation, and 3 recommendations have been proposed. It will be necessary to achieve these 302 recommendations.
Many women working in different sectors are members of the steering committee of the Inter-Malian Dialogue. As the process draws to a close, they were taken to pay tribute to the chairman of the steering committee for the smooth running of the mission. Arjumatina and Ramata Aligise for Mali News.
Always present at the major national meetings, women have not deviated from the tradition of this Inter-Malian dialogue. Since the municipal and regional phases, they have shown through the quality of their proposals, but also their presence within the various commissions of this dialogue. Of course, as part of the Inter-Malian dialogue, it's crucial to recognize and thank women for their valuable contribution during this transition period. Malian women have played a vital role in bringing their wisdom, strength, and determination to support the country in this period of change. Their active participation in all aspects of society, whether in politics, education, economics, or culture, is invaluable. Malian women are inspiring leaders and agents of change.
Mali's first lithium mine will start production in August 2024. It will be operated by a Chinese company, Ganfeng Lithium, for a period of 21 years. Under the terms of the agreement signed between the government and the Chinese partner, 35% of the mine's revenue will accrue to Mali. More than 100 billion CFA francs will be paid into the state coffers each year. 25 billion will be mobilized annually for local development and 250 billion will be earned by Malian companies. For more details, let's listen to the Minister in charge of Mine and the Economy, as well as the Managing Director of Ganfeng Lithium. Shaka Konate and Drisaka Dambele are on hand to translate.
We are working seriously with the government in order to advance the work on the site. We will make all efforts to produce lithium in a better time. The agreement we signed with Ganfeng Lithium and Leo Lithium companies was a long conversation. The concern was to do everything so that the partnership be balanced between Mali and these companies. Today, we are very happy with these conversations through which we signed this historic agreement with Ganfeng, which will operate in Goulamina mine. It's a historic partnership because the central element is that the mining contract will migrate to 2023 code. The participation of the state will increase as well as the nationals. We will now be at 35% state and nationals. Today we can hope that lithium will shine and scintillate for all Malians. With this agreement, there will be the retrocession of Morella mine to Surem with some mining titles. We can be reassured about that mine, which made great days in Mali a few years ago. That mine will be able to begin soon. We will continue working on it. Malian state will be able to commit at least 100 million each year to the budget when the mine reaches the craze phase, which will generate an annual turnover of about 700 million francs CFA. I thank everyone who took part in this conversation. We haven't finished yet. We still have some final adjustments to make. We remain satisfied with the results obtained.
The Minister of Industry and Trade, who has just paid a visit to Malian pharmaceutical product factory, is satisfied with the results. at a time when management and staff are showing their determination to restore the plant to its former glory. Ba Traoré and Drisaka Dambele for Mali News.
The Minister of Industry and Trade visited Malian Pharmaceutical factory to see the operating conditions of the department. Malian Pharmaceutical factory resumed its production activities in accordance with wishes of transition authorities. From production rooms to quality control to technical and maintenance rooms, nothing has been forgotten, according to the Trade and Industry Minister, Moussa Alassane Diallo. The difficulties of equipment should find its solutions thanks to the collaboration of the Department of Economy and Finance.
Now, social work for the President of the Transition. Calaban Sud and Bako Jikoroni school groups have just received boreholes. Bema Sibi attended the inauguration ceremony. Let's follow Gasu Jara's translation.
The fundamental school of Kalabankoro A and B has got the social gifts of the President of Transition. In fact, the President of Transition, His Excellency Colonel Assimi Goïta, gifted a water point to the fundamental school of Kalabankoro. The headmaster, the teachers, the students, and the authorities of education have come to express their satisfaction about the opening of the water point of Kalabankoro's fundamental school. The headmaster thanks the President of Transition, His Excellency Assimi Goïta, for these social gifts. For him, His Excellency Colonel Assimi Goïta makes the education his priority. In this sense, he is helping many schools to get a favorable environment for education. After that, the representative of His Excellency Colonel Assimi Goïta spoke about the generosity, the ambition, and the determination of His Excellency. His Excellency Colonel Assimi Goïta wants to fight ignorance and illiteracy. Again, His Excellency would like to give the chance to the children to get a good education. After that, the authorities of education was very excited. She spoke about His Excellency Colonel Assimi Goïta for these social gifts. Kalabankoro's fundamental school A and B celebrated this social gift of the President of Transition, His Excellency Assimi Goïta. This water point provides water. In addition, many books have been given. Everybody was happy. Again, they want to thank His Excellency Colonel Assimi Goïta for this social gift.
The Minister for Communication, Digital Economy and Modernization of the Administration presided over the launch of activities for the third edition of the Media Fair at a press conference. This year's theme is the professionalization of media in Mali and Africa. Some 40 countries from Africa and elsewhere are taking part in this third edition. A report Yusuf Jakte and Ramata Ali Gise for more details.
Under the patronage of the President of the Transition, Assimi Goïta, the event which brings together all the key figures in the press under the theme The Professionalization of the Media in Mali and Africa will be held from May 30 to June 2, 2024. Briefly presenting the media to the general public, this third edition of the Media Fair is welcomed by the Minister of Communication, Digital Economy and Modernization of Administration, sponsor of the event, who honors of his presence to welcome the initiative and encourage the media to work hard and correctly to get noticed and distinguish themselves from other press actors. The president of the organizing commission cites 4 aspects of the show's organization. First of all, the exposure of media organs and press organizations through the recording and broadcasting of entertainment programs. Then, 12 panels led by the elders of the press around the theme and the Alliance of Sahel States in the form of conference debate. Then the Salon School from strengthening the capacities of non-professional journalists. Graduate in journalism, followed by a tribute to the illustrious departed from the media, and finally the media night to magnify the talent of certain press actors. In this edition, the show school is innovated with the opening of the first year for new beneficiaries of the training and the second year for those from the previous edition. There will also be artistic performances and a blood donation in support of Pharma. He explained as the main partner of the event, the president of Grecom Africa thanks all the media outlets who supported them, with the confirmation of more than 40 countries like Guinea, Burkina Faso, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Niger, Togo, Morocco, China, etc. A large dinner will be organized before the event to welcome the invited countries.
There were several people to take part in the fourth edition of Nyamana English Club's Cultural Day. It was held on Saturday. The theme of this big meeting focused on entrepreneurship. Our reporter Angel Damele was there too for more details. Follow her report.
If the ambitions are the same, it is easy to meet challenges. That's why the members of Nyamana English Club with a common goal decided to raise awareness on the importance of entrepreneurship. It was during the fourth edition of their cultural day.
During my mandate, we really did many great jobs, as I said during my speech. So Nyamana English Club is innovating from year to year. So during my mandate, we have been organizing activities such as training initiatives and also excursion and even an excellence competition also. But this year, we have been able to organize even more and to innovate in those different activities in terms of organization. So I'm really proud of the new bureau, even if I'm the former one, because I'm following them in the execution of the action plan. They are doing really great job.
The coordinator of Nyamana English Club paid the audience attention by asking a few questions about entrepreneurship.
First question that I am actually wondering. And the second question is actually like, is everyone born to be employed, or some are born to be entrepreneurs? So as we think of those questions, I actually want to share with you the stories of some great people in the world. Here I mean the greatest, or one of the greatest entrepreneurs that we call Jack Ma. Some of you probably know him. This is a Chinese entrepreneur who is today one of the most renowned entrepreneurs in the world. And his story is full of rejections. Actually, he went to apply for a job with a group of 20 people. The 19 people have been selected. He was the only one to be rejected. After he went for another job with another group of people, all those people were accepted for the job except him. So all his life, he has been rejected for the jobs that he applied for. Then he decided to go as an entrepreneur. This is where he started some initiatives on his own. And by persevering, he has eventually become one of the greatest entrepreneurs in the world.
The cultural day is also marked by the presentation of the new boards. For the ongoing presidential representative, they will make improvements during their mandates.
First of all, I want to give a call to my club mates, to call them on to a challenge, to tell them that there is so many things to do again. And inshallah, in this mandate, if God willing, we will try to organize some training.
Before the event, club's members have organized an inter-schools competition with rigorous high school students, and the best among them have been awarded.
This day, I am very happy to be here. I say thank you at the teachers in my school and the teachers that are present.
For this fourth edition of Nyamana English Club Cultural Day, the theme dwells on entrepreneurship, a sustainable solution to youth unemployment.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our English program. We will be together next Saturday and Sunday, same time, same channel for another English time. May God bless Mali. Goodbye.